HCIA-Cloud Computing V4.0 H13511_V4.0 Real exam updated questions are good enough for you to pass the H13511_V4.0 exam. 1. Which of the following descriptions about the KVM architecture is wrong? A. KVM virtualization sacrifices binary compatibility. B. The kernel under the KVM architecture realizes CPU and memory virtualization. Circa KVM virtualization is an open-source technology. D. KVM architecture can realize paravirtualization through Virtio driver. 2. Which of the following statement about VLAN technology is correct? A. Different VLANs cannot be configured on the same device. B. VLAN links are divided into two types: access links and trunk links. C. The VID of the VLAN packet can identify the VLAN to which the frame belongs. D. VLANs can only isolate collision domains. 3. A tester wants to test the performance of different virtualization architectures, and both Xen and KVM are installed on a physical host. Which of the following descriptions is correct? A. Xen is started first, and KVM is run based on Xen to improve the performance of virtualized data reading and writing. B. KVM and Xen conflict. The virtualization platform cannot run. Circa KVM starts first, based on running Xen, to ensure that each virtual machine 1.0 is controlled by the hypervisor. D. KVM and Xen cannot run at the same time. You need to choose which kernel to use when booting. 4. Which of the following about the principle of Layer 2 switching is wrong? A. The Layer 2 switch maintains the correct correspondence between the MAC interface and the address by parsing and learning the MAC of the Ethernet frame. B. Layer 2 switching devices work at the second layer of the OSI model, that is, the data link layer. C. Find out which interface the MAC votes for forwarding through the source MAC of the packet. D. Layer 2 switching equipment can isolate collision domains. 5. Which of the following descriptions about the virtual machine tools in the FusionCompute virtualization platform is wrong? A. Forcibly shutting down the virtual machine during the installation of tools may cause the installation to fail or the system to become unstable after installation. B. Tools do not necessarily have to match the version of the virtual machine operating system. C. Tools is the driver of the virtual machine. D. You can query the host name, network card, IP address, system time and virtual machine idle value of the virtual machine through tools. 6. Which of the following descriptions about pool, LUN and volume is wrong? A. Pool is a container for storing storage space. B. Volume is the external manifestation of the LUN object. C. Volume is the internal management object of the storage system. D. LUN is a storage unit that can be directly mapped to the host for reading and writing. 7. Which of the following does not belong to the mode that will be added after the KVI module is installed in Linux? A. Customer model. B. User mode. C. Interrupt mode. D. Kernel mode. 8. Which of the following descriptions about virtual switches in FusionCompute is correct? A. Each interface of the virtual switch corresponds to a physical network port. B. Each interface of the virtual switch can be configured with an IP address. C. The virtual switch can connect the virtual machine to the corresponding NAN by configuring the port group. D. Each virtual switch can be configured with multiple uplinks on a single server. 9. Which of the following descriptions about the time synchronization mechanism in the cluster is wrong? A. Keeping the virtual machine time synchronized can avoid abnormal operation. B. The time can be asynchronous between hosts during the backup process. C. You can set the clock source outside the host to control the time of the virtual machine. D. When setting the virtual machine time synchronization host, the time will be affected by the host time adjustment. 10. Which of the following is the difference between Virtio and QEMU? Multiple choice. A. QEMU can support a wider range of hardware. B. Virtio shortens the request path for I/0. C. The performance of QENU virtualization is more powerful. D. Virtio requires less resources when simulating.